Hello, everyone, and welcome to the literary world of Sylvia Hubbard and podcasts. I am your host, Sylvia Hubbard, romance suspense author of over 50 independently published books, which you can always check out on my website at sylviahubbard.com. This would be season 2 episode. I believe this will be 3. No, 4 or 5. I'll get it right when you read the comments. So, yeah, that's probably wrong. Probably 4 or 5. I can't remember. But I finally made a decision on what book you're going to start listening to. Like it always, if you are 18 or younger, you are much too young to be listening to this recording. And turn it off and go listen to something much your age appropriate. Whereas everyone else, if you would love to get the book, you can always visit my website at sylviahubbard.com/books. Right now, I would love for you to make sure you are a follower if you are listening. And then also make sure you share with your friends so you guys can listen together. So as we get ready to find out which book you are going to choose, we are going to start reading Diary of a, and that's it. That's the name of the book, Diary of a ... But I'm not going to say the ... every time. It's just Diary of a. The title of the book came in the splurge of so many once Tyler Perry came out with his book. It was a flurry of other books that were coming out. And so I decided to come out with mine. And this was back in 2009, but I couldn't decide. It was just a diary of her search and survival, and I really couldn't think of a name, and I just left it at Diary of a. And this is basically the tagline would be trying to find the right man, but I keep sleeping with all the wrong ones. This is a first-person book. This is a first-person point of view book. And it's about this lady named Sheryl Banks decided to start this diary as well. She doesn't know yet. Join her on the journey to find what every woman wants, a man, a good man. Her life isn't that exciting, but she thinks it's sure to keep you on your toes. And it is available wherever books are sold. So, check it out. And we're going to go into part 1. But before we do that, there is an author note. As for writing this book, this was my first novel in first person. I'm more of a third person kind of writer, and I had to fool myself to do this in first person. Hence, I made it feel as if the main character, Sheryl, is writing her story in a journal, and you, the honored reader, gets to read it. In her head, Sheryl doesn't mind you reading her innermost thoughts because she wanted to tell someone, not just someone close. A girl's got to have some secrets, and Sheryl doesn't tell her business to just anyone. Just a warning to readers of my previous work, you will meet Lethal Heart in here. Yes, I know that gets you excited if you're an old reader, and yes, he'll have his day soon, but this is just to suffice until I can bring that story into fruition. Enjoy, your author, Sylvia Hubbard. So let's get started as we turn the Diary of Sheryl in Diary of a and Entry 1. I don't know if I would call myself a whore, maybe a freak, though it all just seems so nasty to admit, but not nasty to be one. I wasn't always like this. Matter of fact, I didn't lose my virginity until I was 21, around my birthday, and it was with my best friend Rick, and I had been friends with since 6th grade. He even dated my first best friend, Monica. Their relationship ended once we all graduated from high school. Monica chose to leave the state and go to Spelman, while Rick and I had a variety of scholarships to go to Michigan State University. I had taken a lot of accelerated courses and overloaded myself in high school, so I received my bachelor's by the time I was 19 and a half. Rick and I moved in together by our third year of college in a one-bedroom apartment to offset the costs. Our parents were cool with it. Matter of fact, my mother thought for sure Rick and I would eventually get married. He was damn handsome. Without the mustache, Rick could have been Morris Chestnut's younger brother, and I was the envy of the campus. Yet our relationship stayed platonic, not because I wasn't attracted to him, but because I think we both feared that if we took it further, we might mess up a really good friendship. I don't really know how it all happened. The day before my 21st birthday, I turned in my master's thesis, and I knew I was done with college. I was so elated that Rick and I went out to celebrate. Though I wasn't a drinker and Rick was just a social drinker, we still knew how to have a good time together. Next thing I know, we were lying in his bed, back in our apartment, kissing. I think we kissed for 2 days all over each other's body, avoiding the sexual parts. By the third day, we had progressed to deeper oral. Rick was such a good teacher. I wasn't drunk anymore with alcohol, and I wanted to take our relationship to the next level. Rick didn't mind at all. "Take it slow, Sheryl," he gritted out, so aroused by not having any relief. I was taken aback when he erupted in my mouth, and I almost choked. Yet, by the fourth day, I could swallow not only his essence, but I was deep-throating like Linda Lovelace. That was also the day I lost my virginity. Rick guided me to straddle him, and I slowly lowered down, filling myself up with his thickness. I was so aroused and wanted, but also terrified and scared. It hurt only briefly due to my moistness, but as I used my weight and was able to control the strokes, I felt more confident in the whole matter. He tenderly edged me on, caressing my breasts, whispering my name, instructing me on how to give him pleasure and receive it as well. I don't know any woman I've ever met that said she had an orgasm on her first time, but I did. Matter of fact, I had multiples. Rick was a wonderful lover, and he spent a summer teaching me everything there was to know about sex. I was offered a job in Florida, and it was an excellent opportunity for me career-wise. We had a long talk about it, and Rick said to go ahead and take the job. There was a phone, and since we were such good friends before sex, we found a great deal to speak about. We dealt with the separation sexually a little at a time until we were back to friends again. I was even comfortable with Rick telling me how he was dating and sleeping with other women. I understood. I had no ties to him. It was okay with me that he didn't have any ties to me. I found myself using men for pleasure while I devoted most of my time moving up in the company I worked for. Truthfully, men were just part-time passerbys where I could get that itch scratched as well. I never took any of them seriously while I worked in Florida, nor did I pick up any really close girlfriends because I was such a workaholic. I mean, there were co-workers that I hung out with from time to time, but no one that I could really open up to about my personal life. I've always felt that Black people, which is what I am, spent too much time trying to make friends at work. I feel that if you don't sign my paycheck, why the hell should I share what I've been doing in my free time with you? I go to work to get a check and that's it. Nothing more and nothing less. Anyway, so Rick was not getting jealous about me sleeping with this guy and that guy. Made our relationship kind of cool. It was definitely helpful that I could talk to him about stuff like that. And like I said, it was all cool when he went into details about his lovers as well. That is until he called me 2 years after I'd been in Florida and told me that he was getting married. That kind of got under my skin. "What's her name?" I asked. He signed but answered, "Cassie." "How do you like her?" "I love her." He sounded sincere. "She's cool, Sheryl. You'll like her. I think you'd both make good friends." "Does she make you happy, Rick?" He teased. "Never like you, Sheryl, but she'll do." We laughed about it. By the time we got off the phone 7 hours later, I was okay about everything. Thank God for free nights and weekends. Of course, Rick asked me, was I seeing anybody? But there was never a permanent guy in my life, only others. Rick was one of my best lovers. Not just because he was the first, but because he genuinely knew how to make love to a woman. I was positive his wife would never have a problem with his bedroom skills. In Florida, before I got into a high-level supervisory position, my coworkers and I loved to go to the ladies' nights on Thursdays at all the clubs, free admission until 11 and free drinks as well. Since I was still not a big drinker, I was usually the designated driver for everyone. So, of course, I was treated to a lot of things and used to being pampered all the time. When the company I worked for made some major changes, they asked me to move back to Michigan to oversee a key project 3 months after my 30th birthday. I would get a salary and, of course, they would fund my move along with a company car of my choosing. I chose a light gray Chrysler 500. It was art on wheels, and just getting into it the first time made me moist. I found a great house in East Point, Michigan, which was only 10 minutes away from Detroit. It was a 3-bedroom ranch-style house with a pool and a big backyard. The neighbors recommended a person to help with the landscaping. Chris was even a great fixer around the house. He reminded me of an older version of Colin Farrell, without the accent and all the cursing. Like any white man, Chris was all business with me, and I was all business with him. A white man didn't intimidate me like they did my girlfriends. I worked with them all day long. I was good at my job and taken very seriously. Being only 5'4", I was stuck on stupid for heels with everything because I was short, thickly built at a size 12, 14 during Aunt Dottie's visits, with a small waist and 140 pounds. Even though I worked out, I was thick-boned and just accepted the way I was built. I kept my hair very short and an afro curly cut, and just recently dyed in a dark honey brown that brought out the honey in my flawless skin tone. With an angelic face, big sultry eyes, and sensual dark lips, I knew I looked good. I had a nice butt and a medium-sized chest, not too busty, but enough to say, hey, I'm a woman. Hear me roar, motherfucker. Coming back to Detroit, I was reunited with my high school friends. Rick and I had always kept in touch, but he liked keeping his marriage life separate from me. I understood his position, and I didn't want to ruffle any feathers in his nest. We mostly communicated through emails, text messages, or long phone calls back and forth to work. I would send him something for his birthday to his job, making sure I used either a plain white envelope or something from a store for a gift certificate or pass. Every once in a while, we got together and had a cup of coffee somewhere discreet, talking and enjoying each other's company. Now that I've caught you up, I can tell you why this book is called Diary of a ... Well, I don't even know yet, but you decide. And that will be the ending of entry 1 of Diary of a. And I hope you come back and return for Cheryl's journey. And like I said, you can pick up the book wherever books are sold, or check out my website at sylviahubbard.com/books. And then you can even read as I'm reading, or read with me, and then we can go from there. So I hope you come back and listen to part 2. Thanks.